Next up on the Social English Podcast, let's fix the mistakes made by a listener that turned this Japanese you will hear soon into English, but made some mistakes. Let's hear it.
約30年前の音楽を聴いている。学生だった日々、友達、場面、香りなどを思い出させる。ノスタルジックな心は私を幸せにしてくれる。
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Social English Podcast. This podcast helps you get better by learning and listening to real social English and how to speak amongst people in conversations. Today, we're going to have a skill note. Please listen to this in Japanese first.
英語を学び始めたばかりのリスナーの皆さん、こんにちは。ソーシャルイングリッシュポッドキャストの今日のエピソードはあなたのためです。それでも問題が解決せず、このエピソードの英語が理解できない場合は、ゆっくりとエピソードを聞いてください。頑張れ。
I think all skill levels of English will be a good fit for this episode. So, if you have low English level, please try to listen, maybe slowly, and good luck. You will learn. Today, we have an English repair shop episode. In these episodes, we help a Japanese person that asked me to fix their English. Now, the way that we're going to fix these mistakes are by using a method. Today, the person wants to talk about music that they heard when they were in school. This music makes them think about a long time ago. Please think about that as you listen to today's episode. It will help you understand. First, listen to this.
すべての英語修理店のエピソードと同様に4つのパートがあります。パート1では英語を勉強している日本人が間違って言ったことを正確に聞くことができます。パート2では会話型のソーシャルイングリッシュスタイルで正しい英語を聞くことができます。パート3ではパーシーはあなたが同じ過ちを犯さないようにするために彼が重要だと考えるヒントをあなたに与えます。パート4でパーシーは正しい英語版を高速で自然な速度で言います。このようにしてネイティブの速度で英語を聞く練習をすることもできます。
Okay, so for today's episode, as in all of our English Repair Shop episodes, there will be a format. 4 parts. Part 1, I will read the wrong English that the Japanese listener asked me to fix. Part 2, I will say the correct English in a conversational social English style. Part 3, I will give you any hints that I think are going to help you learn English better by looking at these mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes. I will say the correct English version in part 4 in a fast, natural speed. This way you can practice your English listening skills. So before we get started, one more time, let's listen to the original Japanese language that the listener tried to turn into English. That will help you as I explain the English parts.
約30年前の音楽を聴いている。学生だった日々、友達、場面、 香りなどを思い出させる。ノスタルジックな心は私を幸せにしてくれる。
Okay, so that was the original Japanese. Here is the wrong English from the listener. I'm going to say it at a slow speed, and first I will number the sentences. There are 3. Please listen. Kite kudasai. 1. I'm listening to old music about 30 years ago. 2. I can remember my school days, some friends, some scene, and some perfume. 3. Nostalgic mind makes me happy. Okay, before you fix that with me today, let's do it one more time. This time, just the English part only. I'm listening to old music about 30 years ago. I can remember my school days, some friends, some scene, and some perfume. Nostalgic mind makes me happy. Okay, so I know you are thinking about how you will fix this. Let's go to part 2 so you can hear my social English version. This is how I would fix this, how I would correct this in real social English. First, at slow speed. Okay, again, this time there are four sentences. Here are the numbered sentences. 1. I've been listening to some old music from around 30 years ago. 2. When I hear this music, I start to remember my junior high school days. 3. I remember friends, experiences, and the smells of that time. 4. Feeling nostalgic makes me happy. Okay, so that is it. Let me do it one more time. Here are the English parts only. Please listen carefully. Kite kudasai. I've been listening to some old music from around 30 years ago. When I hear this music, I start to remember my junior high school days. I remember friends, experiences, and the smells of that time. Feeling nostalgic makes me happy. Okay. That is it. That is the corrected social English version at a slow speed. I have a question for you. Now, did you match my English? Was it close? Did you fix it the same way as me? If not, that's okay. Remember, I'm using conversational social English to use a great way to fix conversations and how to speak English naturally like a native speaker. Okay, let's go to part 3. Okay, these are the hints that can help you. Let's do this. Hint 1, you should say that the music made you think about school. When you speak to someone, you should make this really clear. Hint 2. In English, nostalgia is an experience, okay? How you feel from the memory in your mind. This is why you don't need to say nostalgic mind. Instead, just say feeling nostalgic or the feeling of nostalgia. You don't use mind together. And here's today's last hint. You don't need to say old music and 30 years ago together. The listener understands that the music is older. So just use one expression. Just use one. Use 30 years ago or use old music. It's your choice. Okay, let's move on to the last part. Here is part 4. This is the real corrected social English at a fast speed. Listen carefully and get better at your native English speed listening skills. Let's get started. Part 4. I've been listening to some old music from around 30 years ago. When I hear this music, I start to remember my junior high school days. I remember friends, experiences, and the smells of that time. Feeling nostalgic makes me happy. I've been listening to some old music from around 30 years ago. When I hear this music, I start to remember my junior high school days. I remember friends, experiences, and the smells of that time. Feeling nostalgic makes me happy.
この章を気に入っていただけたら、5つ星のレビューをぜひお願いします。コメントは英語か日本語でお書きいただければ喜んで読ませていただきます。realsocialenglish.com にアクセスしてぜひ無料でダウンロードしてください。ほとんどの日本人の英語を勉強している人がやってしまいがちな7つの間違いとその正しい言い方。また、毎日英語を上達させるのに役立つ資料もたくさんあります。Apple Podcast、Google Podcast、Stitcher、そして今はパンドラでもポッドキャストを購読いただきます。支援者になっていただけませんか？私たちがこの章を作るための支援として5ドルの寄付をお願いできませんか？今後のエピソードで感謝の気持ちをお伝えします。また、そこでしか利用できない新しいコンテンツも入手できます。patreon.com/socialenglish からご参加ください。ソーシャルメディアで私たちのポッドキャストを友達にシェアしたり、Twitter、Facebook、Instagram のフォローをお願いします。
Everybody, hey, that was awesome. It was great having you with me today. Today, you should be happy because, of course, we helped another person who's studying English fix their English. And the best thing about it is it helps you, and we did it together. My action item for you today is I want you to try and use English talking about something you feel nostalgic about. What do you feel nostalgic about? High school days, junior high days, maybe you played on the baseball team, your friends, growing up. Just talk about that experience, share it. Practice it with a Japanese friend. And if you're lucky, maybe you have an English-speaking friend, and you could tell them about what makes you feel nostalgic. This can also help you develop better conversation skills. Today, I want you to think about words you don't understand, and look them up on Google if you need to understand better. Don't be afraid to practice the words you didn't understand. It's okay and normal. Let me know on Twitter what you learned. Don't forget to listen to episodes 126 and 1 through 131 for my high level and medium level English learners. It will help you with conversations. That's all for today's episode. Please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to me. If you don't want to leave a 5-star, please leave a 4-star and send me a message to let me know how I can make the show better for you. Okay? That's all I have for you. Thank you for listening and spending some time with me today. I will see you in the next episode. Peace and love.
今日は楽しい時間をありがとうございました。ぜひ私たちのウェブサイト realsocialenglish.com を訪問して日本語訳と役立つ情報を手に入れてください。また次回お会いしましょう。バイバイ。See you next time. Bye bye.